The first thing is that we sometimes just fail to realize that we are surrounded by narcissists. Narcissists are predators, but they're very good at disguising themselves and pretending, putting on this false air, this false characterization of themselves, as if they're truly friends and want to be helpful. Now, one of the ways that we attract narcissists is we just come across as being unaware that we're surrounded, that we live in a world where there are bad people. The people who are obviously bad, the ones that show up in the headlines of the newspaper because they committed a crime, obviously everybody's aware of those. But some of us, we just take everyone at face value. We say, well, I just don't have a bad feeling about this person, so he or she must be okay. Well, narcissists understand that, and they are experts in making you have a good feeling about them. So you have good vibes about this person. That's part of the trap. Do you have a bird feeder around your house? My wife has a bird feeder, and the whole purpose of the bird feeder is to attract birds. Now, we don't trap them, but, just something fun to do. Narcissists set out kind of like a bird feeder, only it's better to call it a mouse trap. They will bait the trap, they will attract us in, and we think to ourselves, well, how nice, this kind person is giving me free cheese or peanut butter or whatever you put on it. We need to understand that everything that we feel good about, that we have a good instinct about, that we have that good gut feeling, there could be a setup, there could be a trap, and narcissists understand that. So we need to, number one, realize these people are predators. Number two is we are just too easily manipulated. Why does the narcissist manipulate you and not somebody else? It's because we did something, or we said something, or our body language indicated something, or the tone of our voice communicated something that told the narcissist this is an easy prey. This is low-hanging fruit. This is somebody we can stomp on. This is somebody we can love bomb, we can groom them, we can bring them into our sphere. We can use this person, speaking of you and I, we can use this person as supply because we are easily manipulated. Now stop and think about this. Kind of important is if you are being manipulated by a narcissist, it's because the narcissist saw something in you that said, I'm easily manipulated. So go back and think. I'm thinking of the narcissist that I've had the displeasure of experiencing in my life. Pushing 70 years old, I've seen a thing or two over the decades. I'm sharing with you some of those things that I've experienced in life's laboratory. And as I go back and I look over my life and these narcissistic personalities, I'm thinking, what did I say? What did I do? What were my mannerisms? How did I present that convinced the narcissist that, hey, this is a guy we can manipulate? Number three is got to be really careful about using what I call why statements, because that projects vulnerability. That communicates to the narcissist that this is a guy that we can manipulate. Now, what do I mean by why statements? Sometimes I will catch myself kind of like in a state of depression. Why did people treat me this way? Or why did this guy rip me off? Or why did this person not be kind to me? Why are people so rude? Why are people, and we go on, why? Well, what the narcissist says is this guy, with all of his why statements, this is an individual that is ripe for the picking. This is somebody that we can pounce on. This is an individual thinking like a narcissist. This is an individual who just does not have a good handle on life. And that's the person the narcissist is looking for to take advantage of. Number four is we are what I call eggshell walkers. There is a difference. Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes there's a gray area. But there is a difference between being an eggshell walker and being polite. We need to be polite, we need to be courteous, we need to be kind to other people. That's just part of being human. But you can go so far with that, and then you become what I call an eggshell walker. Well, what's the difference? Well, somebody who's always walking on eggshells is somebody who is just really careful, almost fearful, paranoid that they're going to offend somebody by something you say, something you do. Terrified almost that somebody may reject us because of something that is just a little bit askew. The narcissists pick up on that. I mean, they just radar in on that. This is somebody who is careful not to offend. Therefore, this person is vulnerable. So that is one of the reasons that a narcissist will zero in on you. And when we do that, when we walk on eggshells, overly polite, too fearful of offending somebody, the narcissist, it just senses that. You know, they say that some predators smell blood. That's like smelling blood to a narcissist. This is somebody that doesn't have their act together, and who does the narcissist want to pounce on? Somebody who doesn't have their act together. All right, number 5. That is, a narcissist likes to target people. They are attracted to people who tend to be helpers. Now, this is a little bit frustrating because it's a good thing to help other people, I think. Now, it's not a good thing to let people take advantage of you because you are so helpful, but still, it's good to be kind, considerate. Somebody needs some help, help them out. But again, like I just said, we sometimes go too far where people are taking advantage of us. So the narcissist will see that we have the spirit of helpfulness, this spirit of being a benefit to somebody else. And they see that as gullibility. They see that as a sign of being highly vulnerable. This guy is a pushover. That's the way they read it. And that may not be the signal that we're trying to send, but again, if we are being manipulated by a narcissist, that's because he or she picked up on one of these signs. This is a truly nice guy, the narcissist is thinking. Truly nice guy. Let's take advantage of him because, narcissists aren't looking to take advantage of bad guys because bad guys will hurt them. They don't like to get hurt. They like their ego boosted. And if you are just a super nice guy, well, first of all, congratulations. You're a good person. But the narcissist sees you as an easy target. Number 6. One of the reasons that we attract narcissists is because we have a small defense team. Got a short bench, not deep. We have a few friends, not too many, maybe none at all. That is a sign for a narcissist to get involved in your life because you're out there standing alone. Easy target. Now, sometimes there's nothing you can do about that. Stop and think about when you were a kid, did you ever change schools, like your parents maybe moved and you went to a new school? First day of school, you didn't have any friends. I hope things worked out for you, but I remember when I was, maybe 3rd or 4th grade, my parents moved. And first day at a new school, I was a little apprehensive, but guess what? I had no problems whatsoever. In fact, I got along better at the new school than I did at the old school. But that doesn't always happen. A lot of times the new kid in the school or the new kid in the block is seen as vulnerable because he doesn't have that circle of friends to back him up. Narcissists love to attack people where there are no repercussions. So if all those other things are in place or are not in place still, if you have a small defense team, if you don't have a wide circle of friends and family willing to get your back or willing to watch your back, not get it, but watch your back, the narcissist is going to just pounce on you, or at least give you strong consideration as a potential victim. They love to attack people who have small defense teams. So don't be surprised if somebody is asking you about your friends, family, or maybe they may not even ask. They're just observing from outside. But eventually they get that information. Number 7, it's kind of like number 5 where we said we're helpers, but this is a little bit different in that we are agreeable to a fault. Just agree with everybody. No matter what anybody says, we always agree with it, whether we disagree with it or not. To me, the objective is to be honest. If somebody takes a position and you agree with them, fine. If you don't agree with them, that's okay too. It's perfectly all right to disagree with people. What I don't understand, and I don't think I ever have, is why we tend to hate people with whom we disagree. That's off topic, but it just came to my mind. But if we are always presenting as agreeable, even when we're not agreeable, the narcissist is thinking to himself, and I don't know if they even think about this, it could be just so natural that it's instinctive. This person is a pushover. This person agrees with everybody about everything. Now, I'm not saying you should go to the other extreme, where you argue with people about everything just to show that you're not agreeable. That may signal the narcissist to leave you alone, but it's going to cause you some problems elsewhere. My personal opinion is, if I disagree with somebody, if it's no big deal, I just leave it alone. I just don't talk about it. Who cares? You agree with me on some things. You disagree with me on some other things. I disagree with myself on some things. I mean, yeah, I've changed my mind. So yeah, go ahead and be disagreeable, but or disagree, but don't be disagreeable. The way that I meant to say that. Number 8 is we project or we come across as emotionally dependent. All right, I think even the toughest guy in the world likes to have a shoulder to cry on. Okay, maybe not, but I think nearly everybody likes to have somebody who understands them, who empathizes and sympathizes with their feelings. Because every human has one trait in common, and that is, they're human. So we all have emotions. Some people are more sensitive than others. Some people are psychopaths. They're just not sensitive at all. But yeah, down deep inside, there's got to be a little trace of it. Maybe, at least if nothing else. They're sensitive to themselves. Actually, they're hypersensitive to themselves. But everybody likes to know that there is a shoulder to cry on. So we are emotionally dependent. The narcissist picks up on that. Now, if you ever notice that if somebody is a suspect in a crime, maybe a murder, and the police pick him up and they take him in for questioning, first thing they do is the police try to build a rapport with the suspect. How do they do that? Well, they do it by convincing the suspect. The police are very understanding. We realize that you have difficulties in your life, and what they're doing is they're wanting this guy to open up. So in that sense, the police are kind of playing the role of the narcissist, trying to open up this guy, draw him into their confidence. And then once they get his confidence, then they start drilling him pretty hard. It's what a narcissist does, same thing. And if you present as emotionally dependent, and it's okay to some degree, I mean, because after all, we are just human. But if we constantly are coming across as emotionally dependent, we can expect narcissists to invade our lives big time. Number 9 is this. We come across as insecure and inferior. How do you present yourself? Do you present yourself as inferior? Some of us, it's kind of hard not to, because we actually are inferior in many ways. But if we present ourselves as, I know I'm inferior, there's nothing I can do about it, and anybody can take advantage of me anytime they want to, if you present like that, you can guarantee yourself that there are some predators hovering around you, trying to sniff out some prey that they can use for supply, and guess what? You're high on the list. In fact, you may be number 1 on the list. So if you're projecting insecurity, If you are projecting a lack of confidence by the way you walk, by the things you say, by the mannerisms, your facial expressions. As a person with Asperger's syndrome, it's very difficult for me to look people in the eye, but that's an indicator to a narcissist that I have an inferiority problem. So I got to overcome that. How do I do that? Well, I've learned a little trick that I don't like to look people in the eye. It's just uncomfortable. But I've learned that rather than look them in the eye, I look for their eye color. It's a psychological trick, but guess what? It works. It displays confidence. Maybe a hack, but still it works. Number 10. This is what I call open mouth syndrome. I didn't know what else to call it. If you can think of a better name for it, let me know, and I'll use that instead. What is open mouth syndrome? Well, that is our propensity to talk about ourselves. Perfectly okay in most circumstances. If you got a close friend, a good friend, somebody you really know that you can trust, I guess it's okay to open up a little bit, but you got to be careful because even your best friend will repeat what you say to other people. This may be a trusted friend who would never, ever, ever do you wrong. But he talks to somebody or she talks to somebody who talks to somebody who talks to somebody who will do you wrong. So what do you do? Well, personal things, I did a whole video on this, by the way. Personal things like finances, who your friends are. If you don't get along with somebody, don't talk about that stuff. Now, if you are communicating directly with a narcissist, and unfortunately, such is life, because, again, we're surrounded by predators, and we don't know who is who because they're excellent, they're good at disguising themselves. But if we start talking, just a casual conversation about an encounter we had with a friend, could be benign. You could have said nothing critical about this person whatsoever. Well, the narcissist is taking note. His brain is a data bank. And what he files away is this person is a friend with this person. This person had a conversation with this person or met with this person or took a trip with this person on this date, and all that stuff is stored away in the brain. Then, as your misfortune to have this encounter with a narcissist progresses, and you get into the discard stage, or as you're beginning to approach the discard stage, nothing a narcissist loves better than the smear campaign. So all that stuff that you told the narcissist that is none of his business, none of her business, he is now using those things to turn other people against you. Why? I didn't say anything negative or critical about this other individual. But that's not the way the narcissist presents it. And the other individual, this is called triangulation, by the way, but that other individual doesn't know that. And people, hey, they're gullible. People tend to believe what they hear, not what they see. You know, we walk by faith, not by sight. So we believe, not what we see, but what we hear. Faith comes by hearing. And they hear this slander, they hear this gossip, they hear this smear campaign, and they believe the narcissist. It's frustrating, but that's the way it works. Everybody, I think, does it. We all talk, because if the narcissist convinces us that they're a good buddy, a good friend, a love interest, or whatever, we open up to them. That is something that is extremely, again, pushing 70 years old, I've experienced this too many times. I've fallen in the trap. Trying to help you out here. Don't do the same thing. Just imagine, don't be paranoid, but just imagine that these people who are in your circle of friends that are close to you, imagine that maybe, just maybe, these could be actors. Not all of them, because not all people are narcissists. Well, to some degree, I guess we all are, but not everybody is a covert narcissist out to do you harm. But some of them are. And the fact that some of them are, we need to keep our mouths shut. Do you see those two rectangles on the screen? Well, if you want this conversation to keep on going, all you got to do is click on one of those rectangles, and we'll keep talking. If not, thanks for stopping by, and we will see y'all later.